All right, this is problem 2012, number 1. So this is how the impact of a unusual point on the rest of the data. So keeping that in mind, unusual point on the rest of the data is going to play into one of the other questions whenever there's a partial credit that you might have gotten if you only discussed that singular point and not its impact on the rest of the data. So, or the least squares regression line. So first we wanted to do that association between them. So first, I would say a moderately strong or even a weak, it's probably going to be described as nonlinear because you have this going on. So it's a nonlinear relationship between, so a weak nonlinear relationship between price of the sewing machine and the quality rating of the sewing machine. So there you go. And then, to get credit for that, the things for full credit were, of course, let's see here. Those 4 things that were the direction. Oh, I don't think I said positive. So the direction was positive, that it was a weak or moderate. Form was that it was not linear. Okay, because that one point made it appear to have a curved pattern to it, and then has the context included. So those 4 things. If you only had 2 of those, then if you got 3 of them, you get an E. Okay, cool. But if you only had 2 of them in context, or if you do all 3 of them without context, then you get to have so you have to have all 3 of them in context. So you do need all 4. If you only do 2 of those things in context, or if you describe all 3 but without context. All right, so then that's a P. Next, we were asked about one of the particular sewing machines, and it has a substantial effect on the appropriateness of a linear regression. So that also hints to you as to why you should have been using nonlinear up here in part A. Okay, but so the question is then saying, report the approximate price and quality rating of that machine and explain your choice. Okay, so obviously this is the one that's out of whack because it had a higher price with lower quality than the other points. So you have to have that connection, and it makes it appear as though there's a curved nonlinear relationship between that and the rest. Now, let's look at this getting credit for this problem, because this is where it could be tricky. So in order to get full credit for part B, you had to say that the point with the rest of the data appears to give now a curved form or nonlinear. So that's an appropriate explanation. So of course you identified the correct point and then gave that explanation. Or that you said it made a linear model a poor overall fit to the data. So both of the explanations that gave you full credit had to discuss the impact of that point and how it changed the relationship of the line of best fits, or how it was inconsistent and very different from that a line would then be a poor overall fit. And here's why that's interesting, because I could see lots of people giving this kind of an explanation, but yet this would become a partial credit because these are considered weak explanations. Just flat out saying the point's an outlier. The removal of the point makes the pattern more linear. So that's a toughie right there. I mean, removal of the point makes the pattern more linear. How is that different than saying The model, the linear model that includes all the points would be poor overall fit. Okay, because of the influence of that point. So why those are different, I don't know exactly, but there you go. The point does not follow the linear pattern of the others. The sewing machine this expensive should have a higher quality rating. There is much cheaper sewing machines with the same quality as this one. The point is has considerable influence on the parameters of the least squares regression line. So again, what qualified as a strong explanation was the point. In conjunction with all the rest of the data, then has a curved form instead of a linear form. Okay, also the linear model that includes all the points is a poor overall fit to the data. Anyway, so that would have been a toughie for grading. Okay, so that would be getting you marks down from a P to an E. And then the last question asked you to identify the 2 points, because see, he wanted to have a machine that was like no other in terms of its quality and its price, the lower price. So in my mind, unless you have a singular point that qualifies as both of those things, then you're going to have the highest quality one with the lowest price and the lowest price one with the highest quality. So you're probably going to, so then you need to have those 2 circled. So in this case, here's the lowest price one. Okay. And then of this lowest price, this is the one that has the highest quality. And then the highest quality, and then it was at the lowest price. So those are the 2 that meet the criteria of the highest quality and the lower price. All right, so then for credit on that, you had to do this. It's essentially correct if you had both points and no other points were circled. Partially correct if you circled those 2 points, but you circled 1 or 2 other points, or if only one of those 2 points is circled and at most 1 other point. All right. So then you can decide how you would have gotten those credits. I guess I didn't finish doing this here. Wow. So I'm kind of all messed up on that one. So EEE and then 2 parts E. So EEP would have gone right here. And then you have all the ones in the 2s, EEI, EPI, EPP, PPP, and then of course it's the same as all the other ones we've done. All right, so that was 2012, kind of far back, number 1. Hope that helped you.